According to the history books, prostitution has always been around, but was traditionally kept to the fringes of society. It was out in the open at the docks and in certain specific situations, but was otherwise mostly under wraps. Today, prostitution in all its forms, for men and women, has gone mainstream. So, how did this happen? Well, the concept of a job is nothing new. Instead of contributing your time and energy to your local community, you go to the big city and you give that energy to faceless corporations in exchange for fiat currency. You give them time and they give you legal tender. This dynamic, however, is apparently no longer good enough for modern employers. Unlike traditional sex workers who have the luxury of charging additionally on a per-act basis, most of us are receiving a fixed salary while now being expected to provide the full 24/7 girlfriend experience. Late-night phone calls, weekend emails, webcamming. They want you to attend private functions with role-playing, including photographs. They want you to advertise your exclusive relationship status, and they want you to act convincingly like you enjoy it. But it doesn't have to be that way. Thanks to the internet, selling out to brands is no longer the exclusive role of movie stars and TV personalities. Now we can all have the potential to earn thousands of dollars by promoting products which spy on us or make our lives worse. What some of these brand ambassadors may lack in production value, they make up for in authenticity.
And it's brought to you by Current. Current is the future of banking, and it's all on your phone. It's faster, easier, and better than old banks.
Despite their lack of formal acting training, these young influencers have changed the game. In the past, the path to fame and fortune for child stars used to be jealously guarded by industry gatekeepers and professional pedophiles, but not anymore. Even for talented actors and entertainers, building a lasting level of fame used to rely on the approval of industry bigwigs and strategic yachting at film festivals. Now, we need only a camera and the willingness to keep doing what needs to get done. Also, now that the consumption of hardcore porn has become almost totally normalized,
the porn I watch is really aggressive gangbangs and like women tied up. I pay for my porn because I feel so bad what's happening to the women in it. I hope that they are being compensated for it.
And now that participation in it is something to be celebrated,
keep clicking on me and watching me suck dick and fuck it!
We finally have the tools we need to monetize our bodies and sexualities on a granular basis from the comfort of our own bedrooms.
My first hit pick ever, I made $165,000.
Unshackled by social constraint, the only limit is now our own imagination.
Promote the fuck out of that shit. He's shameless about it.
The question becomes, what would we be willing to do for these pieces of paper? Fortunately, there exists an army of scientists willing to carry out and report their findings from an almost limitless number of social experiments. Here, a new kind of pornography was invented. Young people can now fantasize about being in the right place at the right time where they too can meet their heroes and get propositioned into performing demeaning acts for the chance to win cash. Their millennial philanthropists, desperate to maintain their millions of subscribers, are locked into an arms race of weaponized stimulation. They know their audience is fickle, and just handing out iPhones to nameless strangers quickly reaches a point of diminishing returns. As tolerance increases, for their fans to stay engaged, the exploitation needs to become more intense and more personal. The Japanese have long been the frontrunners in creating commercial transactions out of familial and social situations. We may, in the West, pay perfect strangers to raise our children and care for our elderly, but these subversions of social duty are quaint by Japanese standards. In Japan, you can rent a friend, hire a wedding guest, have a stranger impersonate a family member. You can pay to cuddle or outsource an apology. While these are all impressive, these services do have an air of phoniness to them. There's still some clear division between the transaction and the core of our humanity. What if, instead of hiring strangers to act like your friends and family, you just took those existing relationships and turned them into business ones? What if you could record these organic personal interactions and then milk them for attention, fame, and sponsorship deals? By analyzing the results, you could then optimize these organic interactions for maximum attention and revenue. With enough money coming in, every person in your life could be converted into a compliant performer without you even needing to tell them. You just dole out the occasional big reward, and everyone intuitively knows the level of performance that's expected of them, assuming they want to keep their seat on the gravy train. If they don't laugh hard enough or put their hand up for the next stunt, they just don't get invited next week. I mean, this would be the ultimate, right? You're getting paid to have a fun life. It's like getting paid to drink beer, eat food, or play computer games. Or maybe introducing a camera and an audience somehow has the power to contaminate. And being a porn star, when you think about it for more than 5 seconds, isn't actually as fun as it seems.
Why don't you put me on the table then and hit you do fucking overnight? That's pretty raw.
The modern world would have us believe that morality is a relative concept and entirely dependent on the time and place. If everyone's doing something, it becomes normal. Also, if there's no such thing as a soul, you'd be a fool not to sell yours off at the best price possible. Obviously, convenience demands that everyone participates in the system to at least some degree. The question is, should we be actively embracing each new opportunity to monetize untapped aspects of ourselves? Naturally, it's tempting when the most intimate things fetch the highest prices, at least until everyone's doing it. Just as bankers manipulate the business cycle with booms and busts in order to buy up real estate at pennies on the dollar, is it possible that we are being manipulated to sell ourselves, our data, our privacy, and our consent at fire sale prices?